So, Forza Horizon 5 is finally over. Guess I should make a video on what I didn't like about the game.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Hello, this is Slingshot120, and now that Forza Horizon 5 is officially over after the Horizon Realms update, I just wanted to make a video on my final thoughts of the game. Mainly being what I didn't like about the game, but we'll gloss over that. So to start off with the first segment, I just want to quote Ultraviolet and his video titled The Ultimate Forza Horizon 5 Critique, and a particular part where he goes over the map basically having the same color palette as the Fallout games, aka a goddamn wasteland, which is what the map looks like. On the left of the map, it's a bunch of sand and dirt, and the rest of the map is a bunch of dried up greens and browns. Anyway, to get off the general color palette of the game, let's talk about the roads. Now, there are some nice roads, like the road that leads to the top of the volcano, or the road that goes through Copper Canyon, and a visual favorite of mine being the beach road next to the Apex outpost. Otherwise, the map layout is pretty bad, and that's mainly because they made the entire map for the Eliminator. You know, Fortnite. That game mode that they made back in Horizon 4 and haven't updated one single time in Horizon 5? Yeah, that half-baked game mode is why the map sucks for the most part. That and the roads around the map at some points don't even make sense. Like around the stadium, there's two four-way intersections that force traffic to only go one of the three available directions, and the one highway on-off ramp is just missing the other on-off ramp. Like, for fuck's sake, the traffic AI can't even navigate the map half the time. Otherwise, the props that aren't basically fixed buildings can load in and out of existence right in front of you. And they look like they have the quality out of a PS2 game. And the PR stunt flags for drift zones are just an eyesore. Like, can we please have the option to just get rid of them or turn them off, playground games? That would be such a good quality of life update, the ability to just completely clean up the HUD and map. So besides the fact 3/4 of the car list can't be bought because of the drip feed garbage playlist, more on that later, you can't buy some of the cars like the Accolade exclusive cars or barn find cars, or the handful of them that are exclusive to Wheelspins. Like, I get a Horizon Edition car being in the Accolade because you've never been able to buy those since they appeared in Horizon 3, but why are there just random cars that are one-offs like the C7's ZR1 or the LaFerrari? It's just fake randomized rarity of cars that we've been able to buy in every other Forza game. Then you have the barn find cars, and yes, they have always kind of been one and done in terms of how you initially get them, but now in this game you can't even get more of them from the auction house like you could in Horizon 3 and 4. Now on to the car models in the game, and the majority of them pretty much being from the original Forzas, and some of the models have visual problems, like the K5 having a way tighter turning radius than what is visually shown. Now, onto the customization, and how it literally hasn't evolved since the original Forza Motorsport. Like, look at this menu, and then at this. All they've done throughout all these years is just change the color and font on it. Then when it comes to building the cars, some of the cars have the same motor from factory but different peak horsepower. Half the new stuff like the drift transmissions and the bigger tires just didn't get retrofitted to a huge amount of cars. None of the asymmetrical wheels fit correctly. Forza's Temu looking ass aero kits still exist, and the PI is still dumb as hell. Like, how's the game going to look me in the eyes and tell me this is the fastest off-road car in the game? Then when it comes to painting the car, besides it's still the same archaic system since the original Forzas, some of the cars with factory decals just lose all of them when you do something as little as just tinting the windows. So ignoring the fact we haven't had an actual story since the original Horizon game, I did like how in Horizon 5 we could use any car we wanted for any race. Like, fuck me, it felt like every other race in Horizon 4 wanted you to use some shitbox SUV crossover. Although I do prefer how Hot Wheels went about it, basically giving us the option to pick any car we wanted for any race, but just limiting us on PI. I do find that a bit better though. Now, the story, and the fact there was nothing memorable or likable about it, it was just listening to insert character talking the most annoyingly voiced Spanglish I've ever heard, to the point I muted all voices halfway through my playthrough, and never turned them back on. The side stories were even worse in terms of how lazy and boring they were written. Then the character models just look like shit half the time, and have translucent hair, like everyone in this fictional version of Mexico has radiation poisoning and is going bald because of it. So just to get car packs out of the way, if they have any problems besides just having boring cars nobody wants in them, they kind of just fall into the car category in terms of if they have a problem themselves. Anyway, the first map expansion we got was the Hot Wheels DLC. Somehow they made the map less entertaining than the original Hot Wheels map in Horizon 3. Just quickly, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't bad, it also wasn't good. Then the second expansion, being the Rally DLC, aka what should be the standard for twisty technical roads moving forward in the franchise. This wasn't like Horizon 4's Fortune Island DLC where they had one tiny mountain road, or how they made a slightly longer one on Forza Horizon 5's Volcano. This whole map in terms of paved roads is more technical and engaging to drive on than any other map we have ever had in the franchise. And it's a rally map. Its whole point was to not touch pavement but go off-road. It also added some nice quality of life features like the lingering dust clouds that appeared when you drove in the dirt, and rooster tails when you're sliding around in sand. Don't know why none of this was retrofitted to the base game, probably because Playground Games is lazy as hell. Then on to the bad part of what's technically DLC, and they need to fuck off with this. That being car vouchers. Like, whose room temperature IQ idea was it to let us spend real money to buy cars in-game? The game that just throws cars and money at you like every 10 seconds. And not to mention, if you're a new player looking for an expensive car, just go to the auction house. You can pretty much find every buyable multi-million-dollar car there for like a quarter of the price. Please, nobody ever buy these things. They shouldn't exist in this game. So this is a touchy subject for most mouth breathers out there who think this game sucks because it doesn't have sim driving physics like Assetto. Newsflash, you Siberian room temperature IQ individuals. It's supposed to feel like that, it's a simcade game. Anyways, that's probably one of Horizon's best attributes, being how satisfying it is just to drive around the game. And the updates to the tire and suspension physics going into Horizon 5 was also a really nice touch. My only complaint is the fact for like a month they were changing the physics like every other day. My Unimog is still useless from all these physics changes, Playground. I will never forgive you for that. Otherwise, considering the fact that this game has a huge off-road focus, I'm kinda disappointed trucks still get hung up on small objects that they could easily run over. And I can pretty much on demand force my K5 Blazer to go under the map sometimes. So these two things kind of exist for one another, so just to go over seasons real quickly, all they do in this game is make it rain slightly more one of the weeks, and adds 1 inch of snow to the top of the volcano. That is all. Anyway, on to the thing that we as a community should hate together, that being the garbage water that is the festival playlist. This useless thing is the worst FOMO-inducing live service garbage I have ever had the displeasure of interacting with. It's just a cheap way Playground Games can boost player retention and hours played, so at the next board meeting with the investors, they can all pretty much circle jerk each other off. And I know for a fact they're going to brag about the amount of hours we played the game like they did when announcing Horizon 5, even though those hours would be a tenth of what they are if they didn't lock cars behind drip feeding them. And half of them aren't even new cars. Like this playlist right here, they only added 2 new cars, being this Nismo GTR and this 911 GT3. The rest of these cars have been in multiple other Horizon games. And at first, people were like, oh, they're probably just holding them back to update the models and make them look better for the new game and stuff like that. Nope, they just copy-pasted them over and even bragged about some of the cars, like the recently added Mustang Cobra R having multiple body kits, and then when we got it, it was the same 4 body kits the car has always had. Like, they are literally hyping themselves up and talking like they're making the best game ever, when all they do is hit Control-C and then Control-V. And even when it comes to adding the new cars, they can't even get that right half the time. Who remembers when the C8 Z06, a car most known for sounding like a Ferrari, got added, and they gave it generic Chevy small block sounds? And the one I love the most being when they added the 992 GT3 RS, and they put Ford Focus RS badging on it instead of 911 RS badging, and they put the wrong car on the GPS screen. And this is the part I found the best, was when they said the car was outsourced to another studio. First off, how are you not going to add cars right yourself, then go and pay another studio to also not add cars right? Second off, you guys at Playground don't do jack shit as it is. You don't fix blatant problems with your games, at all, so what are you guys really doing over there? And also, side note, all this reminds me of is back when they did playlist live streams during Horizon 4, I would be watching it through a streamer's point of view when he was just watching it while streaming, and I swear, every time they spoke, they would have to remind us like, oh, we're car enthusiasts, we hear what you guys are saying, we're trying. Yeah, I still don't think a single one of them even know what a car is. Anyway, in short, the playlist needs to be hugely reworked or killed. Preferably killed. So that's what I think of Forza Horizon 5. I might make a video on what I hope to see in Horizon 6 if they drop any news at the Xbox Showcase event this weekend. Anyway, that's it. Later.